Hey, guys, out to these Pelzer here, the voice coach, host of the Speak Easy podcast, founder of the World Voice League, a virtual network of female entrepreneurs coming together to impact social change. And I am coming to you with a 3-part special. Somebody say 3-part special. I am on with 2 members of my team, and we're going to be talking about some things that's really important for your business brand. Listen, we're getting you ready for the 2020, the 2020. So with that being said, I want to introduce my co-host for today. Hey, Thea.
Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for having me. What's going on? I'm excited about this.
You and me both. Let them know a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to introduce our other co-host today.
Yes, ma'am. So, as Altavice Pelzer said, my name is Dorothea Robinson. I'm an exit strategist assisting women who are in intimate partner abusive relationships, and I help them to get out, but not just get out physically, but also have the mindset shift that needs to happen in order for them to move to survivors to thrivers. That's what I do. That's just a little bit about what I do.
And also in the space and the place to be is the one and only Miss Tandee. Hey, sis.
Hey, I'm super excited. It's going to be awesome. They don't even know what they in for yet.
I know, it's about to be lit. Tandee, tell them a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. I am a marketing consultant for women entrepreneurs with small-based businesses. I help you create a customized plan to help you move your business from stuck to making money and helping you save time by taking the guesswork out of marketing.
Ooh. So the reason why we're doing this is because, for one, I had some things happen that kind of took away my time that I normally spend on my business. And so days where I would normally be doing some really key elements for my business, I was not able to. And so what we did as a team is we got on Zoom and we did a brain dump. We did a working session that kind of lasted the majority of the day. And it brought up a couple topics. And so the first topic of this 3-part series is product creation for speakers. Why is it so important? Listen, I understand everybody wants to be the speaker that gets paid from the stage, that wants to get paid from the event. But there are other ways for you to be able to get paid. And that is where product creation comes in. But oftentimes, let's be honest, people get nervous when you say product creation and they're a speaker because they're like, but I speak, my voice is my product.
True. A lot of people will go and have just this one train of thought, and it is speaking on the stage and getting paid, and that's it. That there are no other variables, that there is no other avenue in order to recoup the use of their voice, their product. Let's just say this. For me, as a speaker, I know that you have to be at certain levels. So people who speak, fine, great. But know that if you are not Les Brown, if you are not Tony Robbins or Lisa Nichols, you cannot always know that you're going to get paid that kind of money. It's not to say that you can't get to that, but everything is a learning lesson. Everything is a stepping stone. You're just not, I don't care what kind of training you've had. I don't care what kind of studies that you've been doing as a speaker. You've got to be able to build yourself up to the point where you're going to get $20,000 on the stage. Let's begin to think of outside the box. So I'm not making that kind of money, possibly just not yet. So what else can I do in order to be able to profit from my product, your voice?
That's powerful. Simply because even when we think about the Lisa Nichols and let's talk. Dave Ramsey, Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, they all have products that they sell from the stage.
And a lot of people get it confused. They don't understand what a product is. When you say product creation or offer a product, a lot of people still think about it as going to Walmart and picking up a bottle of shampoo as their product. No. As a speaker, you have other products. For example, Lisa Nichols in her books, Tony Robbins in his books. Those are products that you can create using your voice. There are books on Audible, there are podcasts like this one. It's still a product and it's still delivering your voice and your story. It's just a different method of delivery.
Most definite. And I know that one of the things, if not two other things that I had to work on today were, books. Simply because not just a book that someone is just, necessarily going to read, getting it at Barnes and Noble or on Amazon, but workbooks. That's something that I find a lot of times people miss out on, because you can create a workbook for your brand or for your signature speech, and boom, you just added an extra $2,000 or $5,000, depending on where you are, or even if it's a couple $100, you just added money to your bottom line.
True. The workbook in and of itself, when people go through it and absolutely utilize it to its fullest potential and in which it was created, then I promise you that leads into, okay, what's next? What comes after this workbook? This workbook helped me and assisted me in my speaking, or in my business. And then it creates a relationship, because they get to see what was in the workbook, they worked through it, and they got to maybe their end result of that particular goal that they were setting out to reach. Now once they've reached that goal, and if you reach goals, guess what, there's always a next, or should be always a next level to something else. And guess who they're going to go to? The expert who wrote the workbook. Okay, what's next? Now, this is what I'm dealing with, or this is an issue. You have the ability to come back and address them each and every time. So you're right. Workbooks are really, really powerful, because it helps the person who's purchased the book or the program, and they go through it, they use it, then they begin to realize some new thing about themselves. So even in that, most often it's really important to be open-minded about the lessons that you've gained, and not be so closed-minded when it comes to speaking. And just as Tandee says, it is just not okay, one product, or buying, a physical product, and then that's it. It have to be open, because if not, when you close-minded, you miss out on other opportunities. You miss out on a lot of opportunities to have another speaking engagement open up for you, or being able to monetize what it is that you on the stage for. People miss out a lot. They miss a lot of opportunities, and it's sad sometimes, because we just get in this frame of mind of, this is it, everything is black and white, and there's no gray areas.
But you know what? I think a lot of people really are fearful about the launch part of it. Like, oh my goodness, I gotta put a launch together. I gotta put a price on it. And so that's this whole cloud that's kind of sitting over their head, that they may have some creative ideas for products as a speaker, but man, I gotta create a launch.
A launch, man, please. A launch is really not all it's cracked up to be. It's pretty much 3 simple steps, like create your product, tell somebody about it, and bake the link live. That's your launch. It doesn't have to be a 100-day launch of emails or anything like that. And I think that's where a lot of speakers get stuck, is trying to make it a super long process, when you can really make it a 3 or 4 day process, depending on what the particular product is and what your audience is.
Now, you just spoke up something that was really important too, is how important is it for you to have an email list when it comes to doing products and services and creating more products and services that you can offer?
An email list is super, super important to not only speakers, but anyone that is in business. Just like anytime you go to Walmart or other stores, they ask for your email address. Go to their website, they ask for an email address. Why? Because email marketing helps you to stay in contact with your audience. It helps you position yourself as an expert and helps you to get a repeat business, which results in additional revenue for your business. So, and let's not even talk about social media shutting down and kicking people out of their accounts.
Yes, that has been, unfortunately, the new norm, is people getting kicked out of their accounts, especially if they have multiple accounts, but we won't even talk about that part. But people getting kicked out of their accounts or social media shutting down. We've had a lot of glitches within the last, 6 months to a year?
Yes, and look, and the algorithm change every other day, so you never know who's going to see your post.
True. It's important to think about, stepping outside the box and maybe just getting back to old ways of how we communicated before internet, before cell phones, and just building relationships through just common conversations, physical conversations, face-to-face conversations. I think that it's important for people to know that uh, getting back to, the beginning sort of things, or what people may refer to as old school, is just so super important. And emails can be considered that. And I've had conversations where they say, well, emails are really not important. It's just, just a way to have, a hello conversation. But people sleep on emails. They really think of it as by the way, I have an email, but they really don't utilize it and they sleep on it.
I think that's that other thing, it's one of those old school marketing tactics that people just don't, they think it's ancient, they think it's prehistoric, they think it doesn't work anymore. No, emails work, but the reality is that most of you, the reason it's not working for you is because you're using it as, I'll say you're using it as a digital business card. You're just throwing a digital business card in somebody's face saying, buy my stuff. And you're not really having a conversation with people. And even when we think about the products that we, even the ones that we were making today, it's a direct response from what it is that our target audience either needs or asks for.
True. It's just an opportunity to, further have a conversation. And you can learn a lot about people. It's just a great way to have dialogue off of social media, off of the regular platforms that we're so accustomed to. And I just think that it's really important that possibly we get back to, doing some old school ways, because just as we say, if social media shuts down, if the LinkedIns and the Facebooks and the Instagrams and all of that decide to shut down, as we said, as they've done before, then, oh, what? How are we going to communicate with our customers?
And then, like, you made another key point when you said the products that we created today are a result of what our customers want or need. That means you have to know who your target audience is. Just because you're a speaker doesn't mean you speak to everyone. Different people need different messages, and therefore there are several different speakers, different audiences. So they present in different ways, deliver different information. And the same thing comes with your products. Someone needs them, but you have to first know your audience, do your research, Get in some of these social media groups and see what they're talking about. See what they're emailing you. What are the most frequently asked questions? And that's going to help you decide what your next product should be.
Oh, ladies, can I say that, Tandee, I'm going here because you mentioned something so super important. You have to know your targeted audience. If you are a speaker, when you get up on that stage or you step into the room, and hey, if you're a speaker standing in a grocery line, guess what? That's a speaking opportunity. But not to get into that, the fact that you should know your audience, you have to know that it ain't about you. It's not about you. It is about who it is that you service. And you as a speaker, me as a speaker, as speakers, we should be able to step into any arena and look in our audience. There's some things that you need to do before you get up on that stage or speaking at the church. You need to be able to know who you're getting ready to speak to. And that's part of listening. So if you want to build relationship, you're not going to talk about by my stuff, or look at me, and look at me. You're speaking so that what it is that you have within you will resonate with someone, and you build a relationship from there. And then see along the way in the dating process, then there will be an appropriate time to say, you know what, I have this to offer to solve your problem. But we can't get off on the idea that I got something and I'm selling it and you gonna buy it. You will never have any relationship where you're going to gain somebody's trust, and they're going to entrust you with buying, they're buying your product. Tandee, you hit the nail on the head. It's not about you. It's about for whom it is that you want to serve. So you got to learn about them. How are you going to do that? Emails, have a regular conversation, sit there and listen, scope out who it is that you're getting ready to speak to. I don't know. Sometimes an old school conversation such as this, people will be able to resonate and say, oh, that makes sense. That's why we do what we do.
Exactly. And I know that for me, today's session that we were able to have together allowed me to be able to create about 10 different products. And one of the things that I did want to say before we wrap it up is that a lot of times we think too hard. Let's just be honest. We think too hard, we think too much, and we overthink, and it's not that hard. A lot of times we just can take one product and create it in different ways that would be beneficial for our target audience. So one book can turn into a course, it can turn into an ebook, it can turn into an audiobook, it can turn into separate training webinars, it can turn into any number of things, but it's all in us actually sitting down and taking the time to really just sit down, think about it. Okay, everybody's not going to read the book. Somebody may want it on Audible. Everybody's not going to read the book at all. Some people may want the actual course. Okay, well, somebody may not want the course. They may want the one-on-one with me. And what's that price going to be?
And you also have to remember that they might not want the product at all. They may be purchasing it as a gift for someone else.
Very true.
That part. So, guys, I just had to give you some insight when it comes to, I always hear people, oh, no, I don't have any products and services as a speaker. Why don't you? You're leaving money on the table. And I know for me, in the years that I have been speaking, it's been those products and services that have literally, it's been the fragments, the extra couple $1,000s that I'm making in my business, the extra couple $100s that I make in a weekend. It's been from the fragments, the little things that I can go and sell at any given time. Now, right now we're preparing for the holidays. So you have 12 days of Christmas, you have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Biz Saturday. And if I did not create something new, I have stuff in my arsenal that I can go and sell and be okay. And that leads up to those fragments being an extra couple $1,000, an extra couple $100, an extra $10,000, because I know what it is that I have to offer, and I'm going to put it in front of the people because I have it. Not because I have to create it at a later time or I'm scared to make it. It's still an idea. No, I have it. I can just give them a link. So that part. So with that being said, guys, I want you to leave them with one final thought when it comes to creating products and services as a speaker.
One final thought when creating products and services as a speaker: build relationships and get to know your audience, and then you'll know what to create.
One thing that I want to leave is that you are enough. It's okay to think out the box, but you don't have to make it as difficult as we sometimes do.
And those are some very valuable statements. Guys, don't forget that this is one of the most busiest times of year, and that even as a speaker, there's dollars and cents that are on the table for you to be able to pick up. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Let me know how this particular episode resonated with you. Leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts by going to bit.ly/Speakeasy Podcast Show, all lowercase. And guys, listen, it's all about taking this thing to the next level. So until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.